Okay guys, so we're going to get this cracking. You should be able to see my screen now. So if you can, then
Screen sharing has started.
just drop me a message. I just stopped it again by accident. Just restarted it because I'm an idiot. So if you can see my screen guys, just plonk a message just in the chat box somewhere. Just a yes will be okay. Excellent, thank you guys. So we're going to get this thing cracking. I won't spend all night on this because it's something that I can do quite quickly with you guys and show you everything what I wanted to show you. And I really want to show you how you can make your food taste amazing, and how you can make this diet, quote unquote, taste a lot better. Okay, so for you guys that are on that don't know me, my name's Ben Hanbridge. I'm the owner of BodyFit Academy, which is a weight loss program where we help women to drop a dress size in 28 days or less. Okay, this whole thing today is not about that, so I want to get cracking. I want to get into this. It's not about me or the program or anything. So I want to essentially go over things where I'm going to help you discover a couple of little secrets, or I'll call them secrets because it's things that a lot of people don't actually implement. Essentially about sticking to weight loss diets that most people will never know. Okay, so most people never know this stuff because a lot of people fall off the wagon quite easily, and I can say that because when I've done stuff in the past I fell off quite easily as well. So it's not just me thinking what happens, it's firstly based on experience and things what other people have told me, and it's common knowledge diets are quite difficult to stick to. So I've got a little question for you. Have you ever been on a weight loss diet and not been able to keep up with it because the food is boring and doesn't taste nice? Yeah? I'm sure pretty much all of you can relate to this. At some point you fell off the wagon because the non-diet food has tempted you, because you're either sick of having the same things over and over and over again, or the food that you're eating just doesn't taste nice, and again it just gets boring quite quickly. So those two things are the main reasons why most people fail on diets, and a lot of you that I've spoke to over the past couple of months, I've spoke to you probably about this at some point because it's quite a big thing I think to keep you on track. Okay, so as a result you end up falling off the wagon, you end up eating junk and never achieving the body you really want. Okay, now even with the strongest willpower in the world, even with the biggest visions on what you want to achieve, if the temptation's there, it's still going to be really tough to stay on track. Yeah, and I'm sure you guys can agree with me on that. So I want to go over a couple of quick things that can help you. Okay, so I've got this solution that can overcome this problem of boring diets, and essentially I'm only making it available for a number of people because I was going to limit the number of people coming in on this webinar, which I have done because only a certain amount of people can get in on it. So you guys are on it, so I'm going to stop waffling on about that. So I want to essentially go over a couple of things. Okay, I'm just going to skip past these couple of slides because I want to get to the meat of this. Okay, because I don't want you guys to end up like most people and spending years and years jumping in and out of diets which suck. Okay, so remember before when I said most people fail because non-diet food tastes, doesn't taste good, and they're boring, and people fall off the wagon because non-diet food tastes better and isn't boring. Okay, so the solution is really simple. Okay, very, very, very simple. A lot of people will just look for the next diet and do this and do that and fall off the wagon and tell themselves they'll never achieve anything, but the solution is very, very simple. Okay, the solution is just to make your food taste amazing and make it not boring, so you won't ever have a reason to fall off the wagon. Now I know you guys know that stuff already because that's kind of obvious, but I wanted to give you a little bit of inspiration today. So the main thing that I want to go through today is just to show you a couple of pictures of things. Okay, but before I do, I just want to briefly explain something. Okay, and a lot of you again have already seen this, but I think it's important for me to show you this before I show you pictures of example meals, of clean meals that you can have. Okay, so at the top it represents a traditional and fad diet, so where essentially you get a rebound effect because your body is still intaking toxins. Okay, so when I say diet, I don't actually mean just eat less of whatever you might already be eating. I'm talking about going on a cleanse, which is represented by this bottom part. So yeah, essentially get rid of impurities, so you eat food that's clean so that your body can actually shed fat and actually stay lean, essentially. Okay, so you've got to eat the food that doesn't contain toxins. I'm not going to go deep into that today because that's not what today's about, but again, the main point is to make sure that that food that you eat is firstly clean, as in toxic free, and secondly it tastes nice and isn't boring so that you can stay on track. Okay, so this is the main part that I want to show you today. I want to go through a load of pictures just to give you a couple of examples of foods, just to essentially open your mind to the possibilities of stuff that you can do. So what I do with all of these is try and add a couple of new things in every week. So everybody's got a set menu that they might rotate around every week. So there's probably around 8, 10, 12 meals that you might have in your sort of menu bank, and you just literally rotate around that forever, okay, or for a set period of time until you massively change your eating habits. But the problem with that is that you probably get bored quite quickly if that menu bank isn't big enough. So what I suggest is adding in 1 or 2 new things a week. If you like it, great, make it part of that sort of menu so that you can essentially have more things to rotate around, so you're going longer without having the same thing like twice a week. So then you might only have the same thing once a month, okay, so you might have loads and loads of different meals. If you don't like it, then just don't have it again. It's simple as that. So this picture that you can see, or that you should be able to see, is actually stuffed peppers. So this is lean mince, carrots, I've got other little bits of stuff in there like onion, I've got sweet corn, and essentially you make all that. You can add like tomato juice to it as well, or like chopped tomatoes and things like that to make it a bit more liquider and less dry. But again, quite simple, quite easy to make. You just make all the stuffing, all the bits that are in the peppers, put it all together, get it in a pan, put your peppers in the onions for a while, and put the stuff in the peppers. Really simple, okay? Again, it's just making it different. So this is some chicken, some hummus, some tomatoes, some lettuce, some rice, and again, that probably looks quite boring to a lot of yous, but I want to just show you that because, again, with this stuff you can make it really interesting, but it doesn't have to take ages and ages to make. I wanted to show you this example because it literally took about 15 minutes to do. Okay, really simple. I'm quite boring, so I can eat boring stuff like this without getting bored, but you guys might want to spice it up with some different types of things. Okay, so this next one is spaghetti bolognese. Again, really easy, really simple one. So again, you've got the lean mince in there, you've got your peppers, your onions, all sorts of other stuff that you want in there, like your spices, your chopped tomatoes, things like that. And you can use the spaghetti that's wheat and gluten free, which again is going to decrease the amount of toxins in your body. Really clean meal. Again, you can make this and have it the next day as well, so you just make 2 lots in one go. Okay, that's another really simple tip for you that you can stay on track. Just bulk meals, okay? Just make a lot of it, put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer, have some the next day, even if you just make that 2 lots, okay? So this next one that I've got, again, a really simple one, really quick and easy one, kind of the same as the chicken one that I've just shown you, but with salmon there instead of chicken. Okay, really simple thing. Again, not such a get the marbles out of my mouth. Not to suggest that you have to have all this stuff, but just to give you a couple of ideas, because a lot of this stuff you might not like, which is cool, but it's about finding things that you will like and that you can stick to. So again, we've got another example, some more chicken, some rice and some hummus. Again, really simple stuff, but again, a lot of you might get bored with this, but again, I'm boring, I can have this stuff without getting bored, unfortunately. So if you want to do this as your base thing and then add a load of stuff to it, add plenty of greens to there. That's one of the things that it's missing, and also just plenty of other stuff like chopped tomatoes, peppers, things like that, yeah? And another thing to bear in mind as well, I've got a hell of a lot of rice there, which is okay because I had this just after training as well, okay? But that's, again, not what today's about, not trying to get too advanced with stuff. Just make sure your food's clean, and that's the main thing you should worry about, okay? So this is one that's really lush, okay? Great for first thing in the morning. So I'm going to try and explain what every single little bit in this picture is, because it might be a little bit hard to see. Okay, so I've got Greek yogurt hid under all that stuff. I've got pumpkin seeds in there. I've got chopped nuts. I've got chopped up banana, and I've got chopped up strawberry. And the stuff that you can see at the top part that looks like, kind of looks like little seeds maybe, that's quinoa. Okay, it looks like it's pronounced as quinoa. So it's spelled Quinoa, I think. And essentially you do that like rice, so you can boil it for about 10-12 minutes, then you can have it warm or have it cold. It's not too nice on its own, but it's quite a good replacement for rice, and again it's quite nice to have with this breakfast type meal. Again, not everyone's cup of tea, but something really quick and easy that you can do that's completely different and much healthier than the usual cereals and toast and things like that. Again, you can make this quinoa to essentially last you a couple of days maybe. Okay, so again, another really good example. Might not look too appealing, but it's really nice. You've got rice noodles, you've got eggs, you've got mushrooms, you've got peppers, you've got all sorts in there. Again, really nice, really good to have after training, because of the rice noodles, which are obviously going to load up your carb levels. But again, don't worry too much about when you have it, or even if you have it when you've not trained, that's fine. It's when you get more advanced, that stuff. But again, just to open your eyes to how easy and quick that you can make meals that are not boring. Okay, so this is a really good one. A lot of people are unsure what this is when they first see the picture, but it's essentially an omelette on a bed of greens. So the greens are things like kale, watercress, things like that. You can get mixed bags of leaves. Essentially, I've done this with balsamic vinegar and the egg. Literally put a couple of eggs in a bowl, whisk them up, put them eggs in the pan, let it frazzle for a minute, flip it over. That's it. Yeah, put the egg on top of the greens, sprinkle some pepper or some cinnamon on top. Really nice. And I know what you might be thinking, that might be disgusting first thing in the morning, and that's exactly what I thought and exactly how I felt the first time I was eating it. I still remember the first time I ate that, actually. But it's really nice once you get used to it, especially once you're eating clean overall. You'll start craving more healthier food, and you'll just feel so fresh, and it'll sit so light on you, and you'll just be ready to start the day. Okay, especially first thing in the morning, this is excellent. So you've got the greens that are going to help you detox estrogen, which is going to help you get rid of fat from your legs and your bum, and you've got the protein in there to actually give you that satiety for that full feeling. And it's fairly lowish in carbs. You've still got carbs in the greens, but low carbs in the morning is quite good for helping you burn that little bit more fat. Okay, I'd never recommend going on a low carb diet, because you need carbs obviously for optimal organ function and things. So this way you can have low carbs in the morning and then stock up on carbs at lunch and your evening meal. Okay, so this next one, again, it might look a little bit crazy and it might be tough to tell what it is unless you've had this before. You guys on the program will have had this. If you are quite new on the program, you guys listening on this call, then you will get some of this within the next week or two. Okay, definitely within the next, well, while you're on this program anyway. So this is clean chocolate. Okay, I'll say that again just in case you think you was imagining that. This is clean chocolate. Okay, so it's really simple to make, a really healthy alternative to buying the normal chocolate bars. There's normally two things that I'd suggest with chocolate. If you can't cut it out completely, then go for this, which I'll tell you how to make in a second, or go for the green and blacks, like 70 or 85% or higher. Okay, just something small like that that's less processed. So with this one, it's only 4 ingredients. Okay, first one is coconut oil, which you'll normally get from places like Indian spice stores, or places like Tesco sometimes stocks them, but it can vary which one you go to. About £6 for a tub. You need about half a tub of that to make quite a big plate of this, like I've got. You'll need some cocoa powder, some raw honey or agave nectar, but I'd suggest the raw honey is much better, and the fourth one, I'm forgetting what the ingredient is. Ah, chopped nuts, that's it. Almost went from my mind then. So the chopped nuts just essentially gives it that little bit of something extra, plus it helps to keep it held together quite well as well. Okay, it's really, really nice. Even, guys, even just the coconut oil on its own, if you're craving sugary stuff, just have a little teaspoon of coconut oil with a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on top, and that'll just help kick your craving completely straight away, okay? So I'm going to try and blast through these last couple of bits because, again, I don't need to spend all day on this stuff. I just wanted to give you a couple of ideas. So this one, again, chicken, hummus, peppers, some fine beans and some rice. Really, really nice, really simple. It sits so light on you there, and I've got quite a lot of rice actually there, but again, if you guys are having this, I'd probably suggest that a little bit less and try and time it to after training. If you're not having it without training, then just have it with much less rice. So this next one, I had a lot more of this, but I forgot to take a picture. Like, as soon as I made it, I just started eating it because it just looked so amazing. I just took straight into it and then realised I forgot to take a picture until I had hardly any left. So you can have a much bigger portion of this if you wanted to, okay? I pretty much had a full bowl and I've got hardly any left there. So what this is Greek yogurt. So again, this is the normal natural Greek yogurt, some chopped banana, some chopped strawberries, sprinkled with some chopped nuts, and also a drizzle of honey on top. Some blueberries are in there as well, I think. I've just spotted one of them. Anyway, guys, whatever fruit you want to pack in, so just fruit, yogurt, some nuts is good as well, or some seeds, and maybe some honey as well. Okay, a lot of that stuff's optional, but just put some fruit and yogurt together. Really lush breakfast, or even a supper late on at night. Okay, the honey, you'll get away with that completely fine. One, because the yogurt's there, it contains fat, it's going to slow down the absorption of that sugar that's in the honey. And secondly, if you have it after training yet again, then it's fine. But even if you have this, you know, not after training, then you're fine anyway. So that's that. So next one, again, similar to before, we've got an omelette with some greens, but some slightly different type of greens. It's more leaf style, these ones, with the omelette having tomatoes and mushrooms in there as well. Some people might not like mushrooms and stuff because it's a fungi and they're probably not that good for you while you're in your 21 days, but I was just having this as a normal meal. I wasn't on a cleanse or anything like that, so yeah, I won't worry too much about them. Just wanted to bring that up a little bit just in case any of you had any questions about it. So this next one is butternut squash soup. Really, 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 really nice. Obviously you make it with butternut, some other stuff as well, like pepper, onion, and some water, stuff like that. Yeah, really, really simple, really, really easy. Again, another big one. You can make a lot, basically save some for the next day, and jobs are good. And yeah, you're bulking it yet again. So again, this next one, I've got quite a lot of pictures on this, a lot more than I remembered putting in. So we've got clean sausages. These sausages are clean because firstly they're gluten free, and secondly they're really, really high meat content. There's not a lot of other weird random man-made stuff put in there. Okay, they're 97%. The other stuff that's in there is just things like balsamic vinegar, and there's one other thing that I forget what it is, but again, it's really, really clean. Okay, these ones that I had are Debbie and Andrews sausages. Okay, you can get them from things like Asda. And lettuce, peppers, onions, rice again. Okay, you can tell I love my rice, peppers and lettuce, and a little bit of cucumber in there as well. Again, really, really lush, really, really nice. So next one we've got, the last one it should be actually, is we've got some lettuce again, sweet corn, rice and salmon. Really obvious what that is, but just want to let you know anyway. So that's all the food. If any of you have got any questions about any of that, hopefully that's opened your minds up on different types of food, things that, you know, possibilities of things you can have, just to make it a bit clear that you don't have to just eat only lettuce. I have, for some reason, shown you quite a lot of lettuce tonight, but you don't have to do everything the same as what I've done it, and just to open your mind to what you can do. Okay. A few people was asking about the cookbook. You guys that are members, you have a cookbook already as part of the program. Just find that on the members site. We do have a second cookbook as well, which has different things in, and it's a little bit bigger. It doesn't have all these things in that I've shown you tonight, but if you want any of these recipes that of the pictures that I've shown you, then just let me know and I can send them through. In fact, half of them you won't need recipes for anyway, because it's obviously simple how you do it. But for you guys that was asking about the second cookbook, the Super Sexy and Clean cookbook, then that's it. I'm not going to give you a massive pitch on it. I just wanted to tell you guys that I've put up a link for getting it a little bit cheaper for the next couple of days. It's on at $9.99 instead of $13.99 if you want it. If you don't, that's cool. You guys that are members, there's one, like a 40-page one that's on the members site anyway, okay? So I'm going to open this up for any questions. If any of you guys have got any, then just plonk them in the chat box and I can answer them for you, okay? So if anyone's got any questions, just plonk them in. I'll give it about 2 minutes or so. If no one's got any questions, then I've done an excellent job, because obviously you know it all. But if you've got anything, even if it's something not really related to what we've discussed tonight, if it's anything to do with weight loss, then you can bang them in. Give it about 2 minutes, see if I've got any questions coming in, okay? Okay, so question from Sarah. We've got 0% fat Greek yogurt. Have I made a massive mistake? So, in response to that, no, you've not made a massive mistake at all. I would shoot for the normal Greek yogurt, because the problem you get with yogurts, when people take the fat out, then they essentially add sugar so that there's some sort of taste. When there's no sugar and no fat, then it's normally got sweeteners in, okay? I don't know how they're going to make a yogurt without putting sugar or sweeteners or fat in, so I don't think there's, as far as I know, anything without any of that stuff, and if there is, then it's going to be quite processed and essentially altered in a lab. So I'd just shoot for the normal Greek yogurt. A couple of things with that. Firstly, it's good fats, the fats that's in normal Greek yogurt, which that good fat will actually help slow down the release of the sugar that you have with it. So if you're having fruit with it, it's going to slow down the release of that sugar that you're having with it, okay? So it'll actually benefit you from having that fat there, the good fats, okay? So just normal, BioLive, natural Greek yogurt. It doesn't have to say all them words on the package, by the way. Normally it'll just say Greek yogurt. That's fine, okay? Don't worry as well, on the back it might say that it's about 5% sugar contents, which is just natural stuff, okay? Okay, so got another question. Is feta cheese okay? Given it's from cheap. Cheese, I would shoot for goat's cheese, to be honest, rather than anything that's come from cows and stuff. So yeah, anything that's not come from cows predominantly is going to be a lot better for you, okay? Or should I say less likely to be chemically enhanced or chemically altered, okay? So goat's cheese, anything that's from sheep, you know, anything like that is cool, okay? Yeah, that's all fine. Yes, Naomi, yes, it's big thing that you don't want to get bored with food. As soon as you get bored, guess what happens? You stop eating clean. You're going to be more likely falling off track, okay? So I just wanted to open your eyes on some of the things. Definitely check out the cookbook that's online. Again, you guys that are not on the program that wanted something, that's why I've put this link up so you can see that and you can get the second big cookbook that we've got. But again, I just wanted to give you a load of different ideas. Again, the biggest thing that you can take away is one of the things that I said earlier on. So add 2 new things every single week. Some really simple stuff. And firstly, if you don't like it, don't have it again. Secondly, if you do like it, just make it part of that menu so that you can essentially have that at some point in a later date. So instead of revolving around your normal 10 meals, so you're getting around that same meal once every week or something like that. I've built up a big collection of like 30 meals, okay? So you only really have the same meal once every month or so, okay? And when I say only have it once, you might make 2 lots of it, so you might have it one day and then the next day for lunch, or twice for an evening meal, or twice for lunch if you make 2 lots. But I'd class that as one go, okay? So any other questions? If not, I'm going to end this thing because I think you guys have hopefully found that quite useful. I'll probably do these or something like this once every so often. So similar thing, maybe something completely different. Anything that you guys might want me to discuss, even you guys that have tuned in that are not on the program. If there's anything that you want to me to go through, then let me know. It's quite handy as well as a Q&A session. So if anyone's got any questions, then we can blast through them here. Because a lot of the time, other people's questions will be quite handy to listen to, even if you've never thought of that question yourself. Okay, because someone might ask something that you know you might have been thinking subconsciously but never thought to ask. Yeah. So I'll give it about another 30 seconds and then we'll end this thing. So I want to thank all you guys for tuning in, for listening to me waffle on for a good part of 30 minutes. Not sure if you've missed any soaps that are on. That's not me taking the mick, by the way. I actually watch Coronation Street, which you might all think is pretty sad, but there we go. I've admitted that now. Emmerdale. There's always plus one. There's always plus one. Right, cool. So I'm going to end this. There's no more questions. If any of you have got any questions, then fire them over to me. Drop them in an email. Get me on Facebook. However you want to get in touch, then just get in touch, okay? So I'll see most of you guys at some point, or I'll speak to most of you guys at some point, okay? So have an ace night. You can get back to your soaps now, because Emmerdale's probably just starting. Julie as well. Hello, Julie. I've not spoke to you for ages. Missing you a lot from the program. Hope everything's alright with you. So, okay, guys, I'm going to speak to you all soon, and tune off. Thank you, and bye-bye.